Welcome to the Real Aesthetic Podcast, a real deal on like aesthetics and stuff.
Oh, we've been rolling this whole time.
He was my gopher. I'm your host, XOS. We're going to have a good time here. Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Aesthetic Podcast. My name is Alexis Arsenis. I'm so excited. Today we have a special guest, a good friend of mine, Lee. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I can't believe that I'm here, and I'm so
This
excited
is
for
so
you.
exciting.
Making another dream, another vision of yours come true. This is so inspiring. Watching you and your family and how you grow in this industry, it's literally inspiring, and I'm taking my hat off for your vision.
You know, I just come up with these ideas and then I'm like, let's build it.
Hey, I love it.
Rob is very patient with me.
Well, he knows what he's doing. He has the right hands, but you need the vision for it.
Yeah.
You need the vision.
So
yeah.
You've been in the industry a long time. So let's talk about a little bit about you. Like, who are you? Let's tell the world who Lee is.
So, my name is Lee Haimoff. Haimoff in Hebrew.
I was going to say, I don't know how to say it right, so that's why I didn't say it.
So I was born and raised in this beautiful beach city called Tel Aviv in Israel. It's like a metropolitan. Think of New York on the beach. Very colorful, very vibrant. People don't realize how small Israel is. It's the size of New Jersey.
Okay.
So from east to west, it's only 2 hours drive.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. From north to south, 4 hours. And we have anything from desert to mountains to forests. And
I didn't know it was that. Like in my mind, I think I just assumed it was like dry because it's like over there. I mean, I just didn't know.
So you have some Greek in your family?
I do. It's a lot like Greece, I'm assuming, right?
It's a lot like Greece in the vibe, in the weather.
Okay.
It's on the Mediterranean.
Okay.
So the one part of it is on the Mediterranean. On the East Coast, we're bordering Jordan, where the Dead Sea is, which is really beautiful. It's one of the wonders of the world.
I've been dying to go there.
It's really special. And I was born and raised in Israel, and a lot of technologies and innovation and science and breakthrough in innovation comes from Israel.
Yeah.
And it's because of millions of reasons. It's because of maybe the culture in Israel is really unique. It's because of education, and it's because of we live in a bubble in the Middle East, which is not the best neighborhood to be at.
Yeah, it's a little rough over there, especially right now.
It's a little rough, especially now. There's always something in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So because Israel is more liberal, we have a lot of brilliant people there that brings ideas and want to bring them outside to the world. You know, agriculture, innovation, science, technology, medicine, and aesthetic medicine too.
That's crazy.
So,
I never knew how big Israel was in like the aesthetic market until I met you. Like I had no idea.
So, obviously the aesthetic devices, which is, what my specialty is, comes from medicine. Lasers is a cutting tool, right? You can see lasers in many industries, from the way that, technology company cuts our phones into surgical tools. Laser is a precise light and heat beam for cutting or to create a reaction, right? And somewhere, I believe in the 70s, they discovered the IPL technology. At the beginning, it was, so this is a really famous inventor from Israel. It's the guy that started, Softwave and Cineron, which is the company that bought Candela eventually. His name is Shimon Eckhouse. And he invented this IPL in order to remove camouflage and color from airplanes, from fighter jets.
That's so crazy.
So Israel bought fighter jets from the US. And they had, their camouflage on it, and they wanted to remove the color. So they used this light and heat. And then they thought, wait a second, maybe we can remove pigment from the surface.
I had no idea about any of this. This is so cool.
So that's how, pretty much from what I know, the IPL started.
Okay.
And then this innovator started a company that built the first laser for hair removal, and they started Luminous and Cineron. So it's all happening in Israel. And today there's so many fascinating device companies. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the names or not.
Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want. There's no rules here. We can do whatever we want.
Companies like Softwave, InMode, Venus,
Those are all made and manufactured in Israel?
all made in Israel. These are all companies that started in Israel. So they innovate in Israel. A lot of the engineers moved from one company and started the other company and started the other company. But obviously, they try always to bring it to the US because the US and China are the two most growing aesthetic markets and the most powerful aesthetic markets in the world. Um, the business owners here are the most innovative.
I would agree.
And they like to implement, well, some of them are.
Yeah.
And they try to implement, the hottest trends in medicine and technology. And, when you do it well in the US, you can trickle and you can become successful abroad. But, InMode, for example, they manufactured in Israel and they made, their first jump was coming into the US.
So did you do aesthetics over in Israel? Because I know you were like, isn't Israel like Greece? Like you have to be in the army for a little while.
Yeah.
So did you go from that into aesthetics right away? Or like how did that transition?
I grew up in Israel and it is mandatory to go to the military.
Yeah.
So right after high school, before college, you're being drafted.
Okay.
So when I was 18, I was drafted to the military. And I wasn't sure how I'm going to take it, but at some point I decided to go to an officer course. So I was actually an officer in the Israeli military. I was there for 4 years.
Okay.
And I've learned so much about myself, about resilience, about, setting goals, working hard for them, about training people. This is when I've learned that I fell in love educating and taking people from, point A to point B or Z. But the thing about Israel, imagine that from high school you go to the military.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And after the military, you're kind of broke because every weekend when you go home, you're partying with your friends. You're not saving a lot of money. So it's very common for Israelis right after the military to travel abroad. First of all, to get away from Israel for a bit and enjoy the world, but also to look for opportunities. My dad grew up in New York, so I decided to move to the States because I have American citizenships and I have a family in the US.
Okay.
So it was kind of second nature for me to come here.
Okay.
I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My grandpa was one of the founders of the jewelry exchange in Israel and the diamond exchange. So
that's crazy.
My dad's side of the family are all in business, mainly in the diamonds, which I wanted to stay away from.
Why would you not want to do diamonds? I feel like that sounds so luxurious comparative to selling lasers.
I'm the second out of 6 kids. I'm a Scorpio, and I feel like I'm the rebel in my family.
Okay.
My parents will definitely say that I'm...
Full disclosure, I have worked with his sister and his mom, and they're the sweetest people ever.
Thank you so much.
And they never said that you were the fresh one. They said that you were always the good one. So
well, I grew up out of my rebel mentality.
Oh, there we go.
But when I grew up, you know how it is. You look at your parents in some situation, like I want to do something different. Especially when I saw that all the men in our family, almost from my dad's side, were into jewelry. So I said, I just want to do something different. I wasn't sure what I want to do, but when I came to the States, I started to fall in love in skincare and aesthetics. So I was selling skincare products that are made in Israel with Dead Sea minerals,
Okay.
which are incredible for healing purposes.
Absolutely.
And that's when I started to understand that there's so much science and there's so much technology and innovation involved around this beauty world. And when we used to sell our products, we used to say that some of them could be alternative for neuromodulators, right? And like anti-aging products. And I was really fascinated, and I learned about all these big companies like Chanel and Lancome and L'Oreal. And like, they all claim that they have all these anti-aging ingredients, but
they're
we all know that they're mass-produced, but people buy them. So there's something interesting about the world of beauty and how people see themselves. And then I realized, that eventually everybody want to feel loved. Everyone around the world, you want to feel good about yourself. And one way to do it is when you look in the mirror to feel better about yourself. So that's when I started to fall in love with technology and aesthetics. I started a consulting company before I jumped into the laser world. I had a consulting company and I was helping small businesses, mainly spas, building up their operations, helping them with how to attract customers. Because I realized that a lot of the business owners in the aesthetic field are actually either estheticians
or doctors
or nurses. They don't have, a business degree, or they never took a lot of marketing courses. So they have a lot of obstacles running those operations. So The US is full of opportunities.
Yeah.
And it's quite simple to open a business. You can call your accountant, open an LLC, get your tax ID number, and here you go. You have a business, right? And I've seen too many business owners that, for whatever reason, wanted to open a business. Maybe because they had a bad boss and they wanted to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because they had a vision and they love treating other people, right?
Yeah,
Maybe they were looking for new financial opportunities.
absolutely.
So you see them every day, you work with them every day, and a lot of these business owners are struggling.
Absolutely. Especially right now. I think right now is a very unprecedented time, like precedented time. It's very like there's a lot of unknowns right now in the US, and I think a lot of people are being more cautious with their money. But being a business owner is not easy.
It's not easy.
And I think that people think, well, my boss sucks, so I'm gonna open my own thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, you're gonna realize why your boss sucks because they're so stressed out.
Yeah. And people don't appreciate enough how much details are included in a good, successful business. Everyone can open a business, but becoming successful takes time, takes dedication, attention to details, a lot of resilience. You got to be smart, you got to be innovative, and you got to know that any business in today's market is going to be competitive if you want to be successful. It can be restaurants, right? There's so many sushi places. Why would some person will go to one versus the other? You got to understand what makes people tick, what gets them excited, how to bring them into the door, and how to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, if you want to grow a healthy business, you got to understand how to manage, a team, how to manage a front desk, providers. Again, it's based on your business model. But these are hard things to do because they don't come naturally to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, you even might finish a business school and you decided to open a business, but it takes time to build this up. So successful business owners that I've worked with, they usually went through from being a provider, being a spa manager. They've worn a few hats already. Maybe a front desk. They understand some of the business operation, and a lot of them take courses. But anyway, I started this consulting company because I saw that there's so many obstacles and I want to support those business owners, and I did great. And then 7 years ago, I got introduced into this laser world, which was completely new thing for me. So obviously there's spas and there's medical spas. It's
Two totally different things.
two different animals. From the products that you use that are medical grade, if it's skincare, you need to have medical directors in most of the states in order to prescribe, injectables and lasers. People don't understand that laser, it's a medical tool.
Absolutely.
When you put parameters, you're prescribing something for a patient, so you got to know exactly what you're doing.
Absolutely. Training is huge.
Training, education, and you have to continue and do it to improve because, it's a never-ending philosophy and implementing new ideas and understanding what's the correlation between having a good skincare product to a good facial device and the right treatment plan. They all align with each other. You can't just say, "Ooh, I have this thing and that's what I'm going to offer, and that's how my clients are going to get good results."
Yeah. It's not a one size fits all approach at all.
It's not one size fits all. And I got introduced into the laser world, and the person that introduced me told me, doctors are losing a lot of money when they buy into this expensive, heavy devices. They get promised the world by the reps and by the companies. Maybe they went to a lecture or a conference, and maybe they saw, this cool device on social media. And again, they want to stay competitive. They want to succeed. So business owners think that, "Ooh, I'm just going to buy this new shiny thing."
Yep.
For $200,000, and that's what's going to make my business successful.
It's so scary. And it's so funny because, I was a rep too. So like I know how that game works. And it's so interesting to see people see something shiny and they're like, this is going to build my business. Okay, great, sure. But there's no like questions. And I'm like, no. And I know when I was a rep, I was very big on like, no, like this is how we're going to do it. So you can make your payment. Like you kind of want to know how to do that, right? And they're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, why is it not more concerning to you?
So, people don't think through when they make decisions. We tend to make a lot of decisions from our stomach, and based on, our experience, and you're not looking at the fine print. And I've seen some crazy stories about people signing a document that they weren't sure, or the rep told them it's one thing and it was a completely other thing.
That's so shady.
Yes, I know some in New England that came to
Ooh.
a med spa, and they told him, sign this document to see that you're getting approved for financing, because most of business owners, when they acquire a device, they'll take a loan like buying a car,
Yeah.
right? Nobody can usually drop $200,000 in cash, so they
Be
take a
nice.
loan. It'll be nice, of course. Some could, but it's not smart. And I know about some stories that a rep told a business owner, I won't mention names, but just sign this so you can see if you get approved. And then the day after, she realized that she actually signed a form that
But she was like buying it.
she's buying it, and now she's obligated for those payments. And she stayed with it. She's like, you know what? I'll try it. But it's
I
a
feel like that's not only the rep's fault, but like you're signing it. Like you should read it. It
hundred
probably said it
percent.
on the document. You know what I mean? I think that's a two-way street. I think that reps, yes, the longest saying in the world is, how to get rid of your laser rep is to buy their laser, right? And you'll never hear from them again, which isn't the case with you. But with most devices, it's what it is. And I think that regardless, I think that you need to be a good business owner. And if someone hands you a contract to sign and there's any sort of like financial obligation at any point, you should probably sit down and read that, or have an attorney read it, or,
Yep,
so she's
100%.
probably not the best business person.
Probably, but when I looked at all these big companies and I realized that they endorse this type of behavior, I'm not even blaming the reps. Unfortunately, the laser reps has pretty bad reputation in our industry. It's not their fault. It's how
They're
the
bred.
business model is being formed by the bigger companies, and for them, they think, how are we going to push our product into the market? We're going to pay high salaries for some aggressive reps, give them high commission, give them quarterly, quotas to meet and get all these wonderful bonuses, which makes sense. You want to give an incentive for someone if they're performing well, but they're pushing them to become pushy. So that's the culture that is leading the devices in our industry, which is very unfortunate, because it pushes business owners to make tough decisions when they're not really prepared for it. But anyway,
Yeah.
this is how I got introduced into the industry, and I found it fascinating that there's so many new things that you can do to help these business owners, from finding them the right device and more affordable price and more accessible, but more importantly is really supporting them with what to do with this device, how to promote it. So this is the thing that I love doing the most, understanding, working with business owners and giving them the right plan to become successful with this equipment.
And you've been a little bit of everywhere. So you were at Nilo, which was like an outlet type of laser company, which is still around in New York. Then you went to Roar, correct? So Roar,
Yeah,
more
so
affordable lasers.
right. So I've worked with two main companies. The first company used to be known as New York Laser Outlet, which their business model was nice. We used to sell well-branded technologies, again, Candela and Cynosure, but refurbished one for a better pricing than the manufacturer, and we were able to provide warranty with it. And I was with this company for 4 years. They transitioned. We had a lot of success there, and manufacturers from overseas saw our success and our success through social media, and they wanted us to become distributors. So we flipped the switch at some point, and instead of focusing on used devices, we focused on brand new devices. And it was great until to a point that I saw that the company is not aligning with my vision, and I thought that business owners can do better. So I decided to leave them. This was actually 3 years ago, right before my baby was born. So today my son has a 3 years old
That's
birthday.
so crazy. It's already been that long.
It's been
Oh my
that
God.
long. And I took a break for a few months kind of to analyze where do I want to go next, because I didn't want to work for one of those bigger, larger companies because I've heard about their culture. And then a wonderful company reached out to me. Mark Ward himself reached out to me through LinkedIn. And I've looked at their business model and it was very appealing. Similar technologies with better price point and good customer service. So I joined Roar and I was with them for 2 years. I think it's a wonderful company. I only have great things to say about them,
They
but
are great. I will say they are great.
they're great. Their devices are great. And people need to realize the name of the device doesn't matter. Really, most of them do very similar things. It's all about, do you, as a practitioner, understand the capabilities, the functions of the device? Do you understand how to use it in a safe way and prescribe the right, treatment plan? But do you really understand your client as well?
Absolutely. And I think that the problem with I think the problem with Roar, which and I love their devices, is they're not pretty, right? So a lot of people buy things based on what they look like. So maybe instead of a pixel, they're going for, the Silpharm, which is prettier, but it's $100,000 more,
Yeah,
give or take. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like if you're comparing, like let's just say hair removal, like an 810 is an 810. Like it doesn't
right.
matter if it's ugly or if it's pretty. It's the
Yeah.
same. It's the same thing.
I think that what business owners don't realize because the reps don't talk about it enough is that when patients book a treatment, they don't know and they don't care about the name of the device. They really don't.
I think that would only, and it's true, but I also think like for Morpheus, for example, I think that Morpheus, everyone was like, we have to get Morpheus. And I think a lot of that had to do with like the Kardashians
Sure.
using it and things like that. But I mean, truthfully, I don't have Morpheus. I don't like that device. I
Yeah.
find it too painful.
Yeah.
There's other systems that work, I think, better.
There are really three devices, I think, in our industry that the device company itself did such an incredible job on the branding portion for the
Mm-hmm.
patient. Cool Sculpting, which is owned
Yep.
by Allergan, which is owned by AbbVie. So everything that they do, they think about, how do we promote
Branding.
it, brand it to the consumers. They
Do you
always do a
find
great
that
job.
Cool Sculpting is still really big?
No, because there's so much
Yeah.
competition and we already know that there's better technologies out there. It was good for a hot minute. Maybe they had a good run for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing it as much. I mean, truthfully, if you price out the packages, it's cheaper just to get lipo.
It is
In
cheaper to
most
get
cases,
lipo.
like if I mean, I get some people don't want the downtime, but
And you have
like,
Ozempic right now, right? So
oh,
you also
yeah,
have all
medications that
new
are
medication that are out there that can be,
wildly
maybe
more effective.
safer, maybe healthier, and actually controlling your diet versus a device that might be targeting a specific area that you might have some improvement, but without a good diet, you're not going to get good results anyway. And I think that's why Cool Sculpting is not as big as anymore. Because
Hmm.
again, I've seen some of their commercials,
Oh my
and
God.
you get a treatment. You see someone getting a treatment and eating a donut. That's
Yeah, no. I think that they need to promote, like, it needs to be more promoted as like a wellness service. And you need to, like, it's a whole system, right? Like, you can't just like come in and eat like shit and get this treatment and expect
yeah.
results, right? Like, it's a partnership between, your patient, the service that you're providing, but they need to go home and make sure they're eating healthy. I don't know how in translation it kind of felt, even if you get liposuction, you can gain the weight back.
Well,
That's a myth that if you get liposuction, you'll never gain the weight in that area ever again. That's not true. I had liposuction, I got pregnant 6 months later and the weight comes back, okay? Like
yeah,
in
your body changes.
yeah.
Your lifestyle determine how you're gonna look. Your sleep, how much you're drinking, working out. All of those
Yeah.
things determines how you feel and how you actually look. And even facelifts are not forever, right? Without the right skincare regimen, without coming back for facial treatments, your microneedling treatments, your results will not sustain itself. Nothing is magic.
Absolutely not. And I think that the whole it's funny to me when I see patients when they've never done skincare or they've never used any technology ever, and they're like, "I'm going to get a facelift," and I'm like, I'm like, but your healing time is going to suck. Like, you have no prep on that skin. Like, you're going to make it harder. Like, why not spend a couple thousand and prep your skin and get your skin at a good point and then go into something more
Yeah.
aggressive? But people don't really like that approach. They want that like quick fix.
People think that shortcuts will get you somewhere, but it's not. There are
No.
no shortcuts. There's never something great that came from a fast process.
Yeah, definitely not.
Without putting your intention into it, into a diet and saying, hey, I want to transform. Even the doctors, they'll tell you there's a reason why they have a med spa. All the plastic surgeons right now, they have estheticians, they have
Absolutely.
injectors there, they have laser devices, energy-based devices, because there's either a better way to tight your skin, reduce that fat, or to prep your
Yeah.
skin for a facelift. Let's say with breeze treatments or hydrofacial, for example, or
Mm-hmm.
some skincare before. It's really fascinating how the industry have been evolving through, quality skincare products, medical grade, IVs, supplements,
Mm-hmm.
energy-based devices. They all go hand to hand, and there's no, like you said, there's no one thing that fits all.
Well, for you, I think what's really cool is like you worked for Roar for 2 years and now
I
You
started
have
my own
this like
company.
own your own company. So
Yeah.
talk about it. I'm so excited for you because the devices
Thank
are
you.
really cool, guys. They're
Thank
really
you.
interesting.
So again, I was fortunate to meet really smart people through my career.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, he's an engineer. It's someone that I've worked for. He's one of the founders of New York Laser Outlet or XOS Aesthetics. And he has masters in applied physics. So he knows every technology inside out, every part, what
Yeah.
it costs to make it, where to get it from, how to fix it. And while I was working at Roar, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have this new concept. I have a new business partner, and we feel like, there's something better that can be done with those business owners and with this technology." So if you look at big technology companies like Dell and Apple, right? They started with large devices, but eventually they all make them smaller and portable for millions of reasons. For
Mm-hmm.
conveniency, so you'll be able to travel and not be stuck in one place, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that if I would ask 100 people to raise their hand if they have either a desktop or a laptop or an iPad, most people raised their hand and said, "I have laptops and iPad," and I use them more often than desktop,
Yeah.
right? So when we looked at all these device companies, and some of them are really great, we realized that the way that the devices look, it's so bulky, it's so heavy, creates a lot of obstacles to the business owners, and
Yeah.
they don't have to be so bulky and heavy.
No, they definitely don't. And I think that a lot of people in this industry are in suite situations. They're in this one room type of thing. So these bulky systems aren't appealing because a lot of these systems like laser hair removal, it was a one trick pony. Like it was a one laser hair removal, like that's what you had, and it was like bigger than this chair. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And until today, if you look at some of the bigger names, their devices in the size and weight is the same like 10 or 15 years ago. And when we looked at the engineer, the way he explained it to me, why are they building it so heavy? It's because in their mind, they're not really thinking about the consumer. All they think about, how do we make a device that is really robust and sell it for 100 or $200,000 for a business owner, and some of it is making a really heavy looking like device. But if you open the inside of the device, if you look at the guts of a lot of the radio frequency,
Mm-hmm.
the IPL devices, the diode, some of the laser resurfacing, if it's erbium,
Yep.
Maxi type of technologies, the guts of the laser, it's the size of a laptop. And they
That's so
literally, and
crazy.
some of them, they're actually adding weights into the device. And then we thought about all the challenges that business owners have. For example, one of the biggest obstacles is growing your business and opening a second location. It's really hard versus, I don't know, retail stores and even coffee places to open a second med spa and a third aesthetic practice. And we thought, why is it so hard? Well, it's hard to find right managers. That's always a
Absolutely.
key thing.
Staff is huge. Staff's
Staff
huge.
is huge, right? If you're building a brand behind a specific customer service, quality of results, it's hard to find people that would duplicate your style.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to find real estate, so you can always find a space, right?
Yep.
There's so many out there, a good space. And obviously with, online marketing, you can attract someone even if it's not a storefront, right? But the heavy, expensive devices creates a huge obstacle. And in today's
Mm-hmm.
market, as you know, with interest rate, right, we
Super high.
super high. So business owners don't think about those details. Like if you're buying a $200,000 device, you're gonna pay interest on it. There's gonna be the service contract
Mm-hmm.
afterwards. And if you're opening a second location, now you can't really move your device from one place to
No,
another.
it's not feasible. You probably break it before you'd even get there.
You'll break the device or you'll break your back.
Yeah,
But also, if
exactly.
something happens on the way between taking it from point A to point Z, if something happens, your warranty might not include it even, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we thought about, oh my God, if we can make smaller devices, and we can, and we've made them, I can show you our laser hair removal is 19 pounds. It comes in a backpack. It's so
That's pretty
convenient.
cool.
We have a facial device that is portable, and the new version of it was coming by the end of the year. Will be the size of a trolley that you can take it on the plane with you.
Oh, really cool.
We're
So
launch
the breeze is getting
The breeze is getting smaller and lighter.
okay.
Okay, so first time you guys are hearing it.
So the breeze is comparable for people that may not know what the breeze is using like compressed air
Yes, so the
technology.
breeze. So before I get into specifics, again, we just thought about so many people that can benefit from getting portable devices. If we talk about the small studios and rooms that people are using these days for
Yeah.
renting them, right? You don't want something too heavy. If you're talking about a lot of the nurses that are coming into the aesthetic field, they're starting with concierge medicine. If it's Botox, IV hydration, they do Botox parties. Why not equipping them with portable devices to enable them to offer more services, better results for their clients, right? And then we thought about even a busy business owner. Think about a plastic surgeon
Mm-hmm.
that built a beautiful brick and mortar in Boston, let's just say,
Mm-hmm.
in Newbury Street, right? A place that has high traffic. And he wants to expand his business. Usually I would ask him, what would you do this year to expand your services?
Mm-hmm.
Usually they're trained to think that they need to buy a new device, maybe hire someone new or bring new skincare. But what if you just hire an esthetician in a different city, in Worcester, just giving it as an example,
Yeah.
provide her with the tools to do portable treatments, and instead of opening a brick and mortar and committing for a 5-10 years lease, build your brand in a different city, right? Start offering pop-up events, which are really popular,
Yeah. I love good pop-up events.
right? And there's new ways to expand your services and brand without opening a brick and mortar or buying a $200,000 or a very bulky machine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we want to do it. And one of the most important people that we're thinking of is the actual consumers,
Yeah.
right? So the consumers' expectations have really changed, especially since COVID. It's
Yes.
you can sit at home, you can order your groceries from your phone, a massage therapist, a dog walker. There's services where a car, somebody can come and wash your car.
Yeah. Mobile detailing is huge. That's
Mobile
how I get my car cleaned.
Do you?
Yeah.
How convenient is it?
It's easy because I can be home with the kids doing whatever, or I can be here working, and he's just like has his little truck and
It's
does my
awesome.
car, and I come out to a clean car.
Especially for busy parents, it's hard for them sometimes to go to a med spa, even though they want to look great and they want to get that treatment. If you're talking about parents, people that work from home, it's hard for them to drive into a town, sometimes wait in a parking lot. So why not to offer the consumers something new, a new way to experience aesthetic treatments at their convenience? So that's where we're heading
Mm-hmm.
with XOD, Aesthetics on Demand. And we're super excited about it. So far we launched our company in New England
Mm-hmm.
strategically because I live here, our trainer is from here, we have a fulfillment center here. And we had our proof of concept. People love our devices. The results are as good as any other device out there, but they're smaller, they're portable, so it's more convenient. And now we're ready. We're launching a new representative out of New York.
Nice. I love that.
Thank you. So that's in general about the company. And then
I love that. So with
Yeah.
with like your company making smaller devices, do you find like who's like your competition then? Like who are you competing
So
with?
there are small devices out there, right? There
Okay.
are some portable facial devices by some companies, okay?
Okay.
But the company itself, they're not giving the right tools and skill sets and the know-how of what to do with this portable device. So they're selling it as a small device to use it in the practice. Our goal really is actually, I'm going to give you a little teaser,
Oh, okay.
is hopefully by the end of 2025 to build an app similar to DoorDash that we will be able to connect our customers directly to people's home or to do pop-up events, etc. So we want to take
Okay.
it to the next level.
That's really cool.
And I don't think that you pretty much every device company out there
Mm-hmm.
can name me one device that focuses on portable devices.
One device company?
A device company
No, but I
that,
know like Nilo has the Horizon.
yeah,
Is that the same as
it's not the same, and again, you're talking about a small distributor company. They're not really focused anymore on development.
Yeah, see, I don't know. So that's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
Like I know that they have like
you can
some portable
you can
things.
find portable devices out there. You
Yeah.
can, but you can't find a company that builds a whole support system around doing something with this portable
Mm-hmm.
device. So we do a lot of things that are out of the box to support with onboarding, to
Yeah.
support with our customer success. So our goal is never to sell a device, but really to find the right tool that fits the business and to tailor our training and marketing based on, their tools that they have in their office, their staff.
Mm-hmm.
And we do a lot of things on automation to make it more seamless for them to launch it. So we do things that are a little bit different than other
Yeah.
device companies. And again, like we always say, it's not about finding a device. You need support.
I 1000% agree. And I think that's why for me, I've done business with you before. Um, like Roar was so great. Like their service is so good. You have a question, customer service is there. If I was like, hey Lee, I don't know how to do this. Like, is this how I set this up? Or I can't get it to turn on and I like hit the emergency button by
I
accident.
remember
It
that.
happens. Or you just forget that you have to fill it. The cool thing I do like about your portable laser is you don't have to fill it.
Right.
There's no like cooling aspect to it when it comes to like filling it up with like water.
Right. So when we looked at this incredible technology that we bring from Europe, they took out everything that is not important in the device to make it smaller.
Mm-hmm.
We have an incredible cooling mechanism on
It
the
is. It does
handpiece.
get cold.
It gets to 15.8 Fahrenheit, which is -9 Celsius. Extremely comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
way more comfortable than all of the devices that I've touched or sold. But we don't have this big, robust, water tank that
Yeah.
usually diode and IPL or laser devices will have. So they have a unique liquid that once a year or when needed, we can put it inside, but you can travel with it and it's not going to freeze on you. So
Oh, that's
that's
cool.
one of the nicest feature about this
So with
device.
XOD, what is your product lineup? Like what devices what are all the devices that you have? Because I think you have a couple more
Yeah, so we
cooking.
have 3 devices.
Okay.
2 of them are completely portable. We have our Breeze, which is a needle-free skin therapy technology. Just like you mentioned, it uses pressurized air to offer a lot of different unique services and perform different steps. So you can offer facials with it.
Okay.
Usually it's a 4-step treatment, so we offer lymphatic drainage. It feels like a cryotherapy because it has a cooling component.
Okay.
So it's depuffing the skin, it's creating circulation, it's super healthy. And most of our providers will use it before injectables to prep their customers. And it also goes hand to hand with lasers too. So a nice thing about the Breeze technology that we developed in Israel from scratch is that the handpiece doesn't touch the client's skin.
Mm-hmm.
There's no suction. We might add it later, but it's super comfortable. And the delivery mechanism of the products is through micro droplets. So
Okay.
it's really soothing. You can treat melasma, sun damage, acne scars, stretch marks, hair loss from head to toe. So it's a really fascinating
It is great.
device.
I've used it.
Thank
I like
you.
it.
And it's portable, so there's
Mm-hmm.
tons of benefits for that. We have a portable laser hair removal
Mm-hmm.
device. Like I said, it's 19 pound, comes in a backpack. Super easy to use. So when we started the company, we asked ourselves, what are the main things that med spas and aesthetic businesses actually need and looking for when they start? Like, what's the must-have? So for example, there's lasers like CO2 resurfacing. Is
Yep.
it a must-have? Not really.
I wouldn't say so, but
It's not a must-have. It's a heavy-duty laser. In most states, only NPs and PAs can operate it, right? So you have a lot of limitations. You have limitations on the skin color that you can treat with CO2 if you want good aggressive results, right?
mm-hmm.
So when we started XOD, we thought about what are the must-have? A good facial device, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without hydration, you know, when you think about wrinkle reduction, you need hydration. When you think about acne treatments, you need vitamins and exfoliation. So that's why we focus on the Breeze. Laser hair removal just until today brings so many people to your
It
practice.
does.
I know that you built an incredible membership
I
program.
did. I made it super affordable. I don't think that there is a need to be charging like a ridiculous amount of money for laser hair removal. So for me, I make it affordable. They get one treatment a month or every 6 weeks, kind of depending on where we're treating. And it gets people in the door. I wouldn't say that it's my biggest money maker, but it is something where like everyone's looking for laser hair
Yeah,
removal, so you have to have it, you know?
yeah.
Um,
And I think the nice thing about diode technology specifically, which is what we have,
mhm,
it's really fast and can be very comfortable. So you can treat a few people per hour, which is what you want.
absolutely.
Last night I spoke with a med spa owner from Dallas that I got as a referral, and he told me my wife is an injector. We're looking at the microneedling RF system. So I asked him, tell me about the services that you're about to offer. Skincare, injectables, skin tightening, that's what we're looking for. What about laser hair removal? I was like, I don't know if you want to do it. And I asked him why. Why wouldn't you offer laser hair removal?
Yeah.
And he told me my wife, who's an injector, doesn't really understand it. And I'm like, look, what you want to do as a business owner is to build your community.
Yeah.
You want to build clientele, right? You can't build a whole business just based on injectable, just like you wouldn't be able to base a whole business just on skincare. What's the nice thing about laser hair removal that people don't appreciate is when somebody makes the choice to buy a laser hair removal treatment, it means that they want to do a permanent hair reduction or
Mm-hmm.
they want to get as close as they can to it. There's nothing
Absolutely.
really permanent. There's always going to be some touch-ups. But imagine that someone that did waxing for years or shaving decided, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this every week. I'd rather
Mm-hmm.
do a series of treatment. The beauty in selling a laser hair removal package is that it's a recurring treatment.
Mm-hmm.
People buy them usually, or they do 6 to 8 treatments, which means you have 6 to 8 monthly treatments
Clients.
clients that are coming to
Yeah.
you to visit you, and it gives you an opportunity to get to know them, to
Yeah.
get to understand a little bit more about what bothers them. And if you gave them a great customer service, great results and experience, they'll do other body parts with that
I
laser.
agree. I think that, like, to get to your point too, is like it's the gateway drug.
It's a gateway drug.
Like, it's the drug, it's the service that they come in, they get. They're like, "Oh my god, I see results if you have the right system and you're on the right settings." And they come back and they trust you and they're like, "Okay, well, I'm going to do this and maybe I'll try this service next." It definitely, I have gotten most of my clients that way. We start
Through
with
laser
laser
hair
hair
removal.
removal and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden they're like, "Oh my god, I want to fix this and this
Yeah.
and can I add this area and can I do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
So even though it might be a little bit of a saturated of a treatment, I
It is.
think there's something really unique about the fact that you can see those patients every month. And with today's technology, I've seen this with med spas that are buying our Diago laser. The patients are like, oh my God, this is so comfortable. I thought the laser are more
Mhm.
painful, or I've done it in elsewhere, and this is so much more comfortable. And that's the things that you're looking for in technology, something that gives them a good experience, that
Mhm.
makes them want to do more and refer their friends,
Well, I think also too people are still using IPL for hair removal, which is, I in some cases it's archaic. It's the old way of doing it.
Yeah,
You're limited on who you can treat.
right.
Um, I see more people that come to me with laser injury, like they have scarring because they're
From
not
an
the right
IPL,
from IPL. Yeah, because
yeah,
it's not they're not the right skin tone. The settings weren't right. Maybe there
yeah,
wasn't. I had someone say they never applied gel. It was just like like just I don't know.
not
That like
enough gel.
freaks me out.
IPL has a lot of limitations. I think it's one of the go-to as always for like sunspots, discoloration, and broken vessels on the face. But for hair removal, it's just okay. The light is more superficial. It's more risky. There's more heat versus lasers, right? The beam is very
Yeah,
different.
if I had to choose, I'd pick Erbium.
You'd
Like
book Emir for
for
yes, 100%.
like Erbium would be my way to
I
go.
think that IPL is just popular because of the results that people get from sunspots, and because in some states like Massachusetts, which you know uh, the regulations allow the estheticians to use IPL versus lasers for hair removal.
Which is so bizarre because
It's
lasers I
yeah,
would consider safer.
laser is safer for sure than IPL. Sorry, I'm not a doctor, but from what I know from the
From
basic
years of
physics,
working
yeah,
doing the treatments, I mean, I've seen more people have injuries with IPL
IPL,
than I
yeah,
have ever with
100%,
any other
yeah,
laser, including CO2. Like I've just
yeah.
I mean,
Again, and it might be because CO2 is something that a nurse practitioner probably would use, and
yeah,
an IPL, a lot of esthetician like in Massachusetts, you don't need to have a medical director to use an IPL. So
which
in
is
some
so
cases,
chilled.
they just don't dive in enough to understand the physics and the safety component, and they're like, "Sure, I have an IPL. Here's the setting. I can treat you." Maybe that's why you see more.
Definitely not a one size fit all. It's
Yeah,
definitely not, hey, I read the instruction card on the device and it
yeah,
told me to
and
do
that
this and that's what I did. Like
yeah,
that's
it's
not
never enough.
no, it's not.
And that's why I really love the way that we build our training is, we have our trainers available anytime. We have so much more in-depth pre-training presentation, which I was missing at other companies that I've worked for.
Mm-hmm.
And from our webinars to we actually have on November 20th. I'm not sure when the podcast is going to come out.
The first. So
On November
oh I don't
20th,
yeah.
we have a regional training. So any XOD customer can come into a regional training here in New England. So we're really trying to, we understand that, once the training goes away, You're going to learn new things when you start
Yeah.
treating customers. So we want to be on top of that to make sure that
And is that
everybody feels
free
comfortable.
complimentary
It's
to owners?
complimentary
That's
for
awesome.
business owners. It's also a nice way if somebody is kind of thinking, should I get an XOD device or not? We always welcome people to join this training if they want to, if they're
Mhm.
actually debating of buying a device. So it's a nice way kind of to meet the team and the trainers and business owners that have our devices. So that's going to be November 20th on a Wednesday in one of the med spas. And then one of the things that we love the most about our Diago, it's the last thing I'm going to talk about, is that we have a proprietary delivery mechanism. It's called the V-cell system,
Okay.
which allows the light to penetrate the skin in a very precise way without having any shattering of the light, which happens sometimes with other devices where the surrounding tissues around the light are getting some of the light and the heat, and that's why there's higher risk of burns with other lasers. So ours is super safe. The results are very consistent. You're
Mhm.
not going to see, I've seen other diode lasers that, if you look at a bikini line, there's some grown and some hair looks
Mhm.
like it was treated, like little patches.
Yep.
So with ours is more consistent and safer. So that's really unique. We do have one platform that we launched, which is the microneedling RF platform,
Mhm.
which you
I do
tried
like
yourself.
I do. I do like this device.
Thank you. It's called the Silk Row. It's an incredible platform with 5 hand pieces. So it's the first microneedling RF that has a plasma, which we just got the FDA approval for.
Nice.
So now you can offer combination treatments with microneedling RF and plasma. It has vaginal rejuvenation. It has a monopolar RF without needles. So if you want to work on tiny areas like eyelids or mouth and the client
Mhm.
doesn't want needles or numbing, you can use that. And we have a one prong needle RF as well for treatments for acne and people that have sebaceous hyperplasia.
Yeah. Good job. You said it right.
I said it right. It
Yes, you
took me
did
a
good.
while. So that's a great device, and it just fits our model. We're looking for devices, like I said, that are popular, that every med spa would like, that we can deliver great result on all skin colors. So every device that we have treats all skin types.
Mhm.
And another focus of our devices, when we think of which device to bring, it has to provide great results and great experience too.
And so for people that are listening that are business owners, like what's the price points? Like what can people expect? Like is it going to be, I know Roar is very transparent, their
Yeah.
prices are online. Are you guys going to follow that same
Yeah.
transparency?
So actually, tonight you should see a new update on our website where we put the pricing or what the payment plan can look like. Because obviously, most business owners they take financing.
Yep.
So we kind of wrote down for each device what could be the payment plan per device. We range between $45,000 to $70,000.
Okay.
So we are more accessible,
Absolutely.
way more accessible than other device companies. We provide 2 years warranty with each one of our devices. So
That's awesome.
most device companies will give you 1 year, and then the second year you'd have to pay for it.
Mhm.
So we already give 2 years. Again, our devices are built for durability, so there's no reason for us to charge that second year
Mhm.
for a warranty. And then afterwards, if they want, it's really accessible or affordable. And we are coming up with a fourth device, which is brand new.
Ooh.
We're gonna launch it, I hope in November, and if not, in December. It's a portable radio frequency platform that weighs
Okay.
15 pounds, comes in a suitcase.
Is it like the wand?
So it has multiple hand pieces,
Okay.
okay? Monopolar RF. The ones that you have like a hand piece that you massage on the skin with gel, with ultrasound gel,
Mhm.
for skin tightening, for
So
anti-aging,
similar to
loose
like
skin,
Pelave.
similar to Pelave, but larger spot size, so you can treat a larger area. We have straps, and you can do like hands-free fat reduction treatments. Okay,
Okay.
similar to like Cutera or Cartesta devices that uses heat and radio frequency to destroy fat. We have a vaginal rejuvenation handpiece, which is RF, pain-free, and it's 360, so it delivers energy throughout the whole internal area, and you can treat the outside too.
Mhm.
But the coolest feature about this new RF platform, which will be our main focus, we have bracelets that the practitioner can put on her arms,
Okay.
and the radio frequency energy is traveling through her fingers.
That's
So
interesting.
this is a new way to experience radio frequency
Okay.
without a handpiece or needles. So imagine that you come for a facial, and it's the thing that is missing in the medical aesthetic is that personal touch that some great estheticians have and the experience, right? If you think about
Mm-hmm.
lasers and Botox, yes, they get good results, but it's not the most pleasant experience that some
Exactly.
people are looking for, right? So imagine that now you can come for a radiofrequency treatment and the esthetician will give you a facial massage. But during the massage, we're heating up the tissues to the therapeutic temperature of 40 Celsius, and you're actually stimulating collagen, tightening the skin with the touch of an esthetician.
So, just on a technical end, it's only going from the cuffs to your hands. It's not free flowing.
Correct. So it's monopolar, which means there's a grounding pad
Mm-hmm.
on the patient, right?
Yep.
So, if you're treating the face, you're going to put the grounding pad in the middle of the back, right? There's so many ways to use it, but, and the electrodes are connected to the practitioner hands, and the energy travels through her fingers. So, from actually, this device won an award in Europe for the most innovative technology in aesthetics. They've done a lot of things. They've done a lot of great things with it. Another feature of it, you can apply 4 bracelets on your 2 legs and 2 arms, and this device can increase your body temperature. So, in case if you're getting sick, this can how can I say this? Give a kick to your body to start healing itself, pretty much. So
Okay.
this was a protocol they created during COVID,
So, like similar to a sauna in a way,
similar to a sauna,
like just
heating
increasing your
your
body.
body, but in a very precise way to a
Okay.
specific temperature. But again, the most fascinating part will be to offer radio frequency through a massage. And the providers that are using this device have experienced that their joints feel better. A lot of the um, massage therapists and lymphatic drainage, they're using the hands a lot, and it
Yeah.
takes a big toll of the practitioner. So with this, you don't have to use so much hand movements, and the energy is being transferred, so it makes the treatment so much more convenient for you as an operator. Um,
So when can I see this? I want to see it.
well, you can experience it next week because we have one in New England,
I want to
and
see it.
and
I
I
want
would
to play
love
with it.
I would love to treat you and to get your feedbacks on it.
Yeah, I love it. Well, you know me. I'm a big like, let me see it, let me try it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I love your vision. You love to touch, you love to feel, and you have so many hats that you're wearing, from a
Oh yeah.
practitioner, a laser expert. Would love to get it in your hands. But I think that this is gonna be one of the coolest tools that med spas will have, and it's portable, right? But
Mm-hmm.
but again, think that somebody can come for a hydrofacial treatment,
Yeah.
and you can just tell them, hey, do you want to add a radio
Add this on.
frequency
And
to
what's the price point of that?
the device itself? It's gonna be in the $40,000 and less range.
Okay.
With the 35
That's
to forty
attainable for a
thousand,
lot of people.
it's attainable. If again, for a platform that offers multiple handpieces, including vaginal rejuvenation and portable, I've never seen anything less than 80 to one hundred and fifty
So
thousand
it's
dollars.
different than the Silk Rose vaginal because that is out of one. It's not 360 out of that
Right.
device. Okay.
So the this device is gonna be called the Wonder Touch.
Wonder
Wonder
Touch.
Touch.
Did you name it?
Me and my partner, we thought about Wonder Woman
Okay.
and her bracelet, right? Or whatever gives her energy. And we thought about empowering women and how women.
Wonder Touch.
So the
That's
Wonder
interesting.
Touch,
Okay.
it's really unique. Do you like it?
It's different. I just didn't think that I don't know. I just didn't expect that.
Let it sink in.
Okay. Would you like a Wonder Touch treatment today, everybody?
I think I would love a Wonder Touch. By the way, I've tried it. It feels so good. It literally feels like hot stones massaging your skin. So I can't wait for you to experience it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. But that's so cool. I'm so excited. Like Wonder Touch, that's going to be so interesting. Of course, as I say that, my phone goes off. I'm so
Thank
excited to play with
you.
that. I think that's going to be so fun. So we're launching that when?
So we're just waiting for the final FDA approval. So we're in the
Okay.
middle of the submission. So it's actually so fascinating for me as now as a device business owner to be part of this process. So hopefully in the next 30 days we'll get the green
That's
light.
so
We're just
exciting.
working on the marketing materials and presentation. You'll be the first esthetician to try it in New England,
Ooh.
other than our trainer. who is a nurse and esthetician too. You know
No,
Amy.
Amy's great.
But I would love to treat you. Probably next week we can do
Yeah,
it.
I'm here. I never leave. This is where I live. But thank you so much for coming today. I
Thank
think
you so
people
much.
learned so much about you and about lasers themselves, and kind of even for people that are interested in purchasing lasers, kind of like what their buying power is like, maybe what they can afford, and how you give an affordable option. What is your Instagram for? Is it XOD? Like, what's our?
So our website is xod.life,
Okay.
Life. Our new Instagram handle, please follow our new Instagram. It's XOD_life.
I love that. Well, keep on the lookout, guys, for XOD and their awesome new portable systems and their great support that they have. Please follow us at Real Aesthetic Pod on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and all the things. So excited. See you guys next week.
Thank you so much for having me.